in the High Court, when the Election Commission was opposing my demand for introducing a voter receipt like in the ATM, which the person sees and then tears out the voter receipt and puts it in the ballot box before going out. If you can't do that, let us go back to ballot papers. And today, United States, England, Netherlands, Germany, most of the important nations of Europe, plus Japan, Korea, all use ballot papers for the election. India, Nigeria and Venezuela are the great countries which use electronic voting machines. I don't know whether they are bigger democratic countries than the Americans and the English and the Germans and so on. But anyway, what I was surprised is that the Election Commission claimed that this is a unique machine which cannot be rigged. So I took a couple of friends of mine from Andhra Pradesh, software engineers, and went to the Election Commission to demonstrate. Because the Election Commission invited me saying, you made this public statement, please demonstrate. I went to demonstrate. And they videoed the whole thing. And then my friends, V.V. Rao and Hari Prasad, they both set about working on this, and they started taking the parts apart to show that the rigging, how it can take place. And suddenly the Electronic Voting Machine, Electronic Corporation of India and the Bharat Electronics Limited, who were present there, objected, saying, no, this is a violation of our intellectual property rights. We have patents and this is all violation of that. These people are stealing our model and all that. And they aborted the meeting. They didn't let the meeting go to the point where I could demonstrate that the machines can be rigged. Now, after that, poor Hari Prasad came to Maharashtra and they said, you stole one electronic voting machine from the Election Commission and put him in jail here. So, with the support of Mr. Jagdish Shetty, we were able to get him out ultimately. But he spent quite some time in jail. For what? On a fraudulent charge that he had stolen an electronic voting machine and then later on television showed how it can be rigged. He should be given Bharat Ratna for demonstrating that, not putting him in jail. Now the final thing is, I wrote a letter to the WTO because I was Commerce Minister. I was the one who signed the first document on creating of the WTO. So I have lots of friends there. I wrote to them, the World Intellectual Property Organization based in Paris. Does the Election Commission have patent for this electronic voting machine? And reply came that yes, the Election Commission had applied for patent. Then we asked for some clarification. They could not give the clarification. So we wrote to them that this machine is unworthy of being patented. So please withdraw your application. And they withdrew the application. So that was lie number one. Lie number two is that this is an indigenous machine. The most important part of electronic voting machine is the microcontroller which controls the distribution of votes as you press the buttons. And that's the important thing. That is produced by a Japanese company, not by an Indian company. Not produced by ECIL or BEL. It's produced by a Japanese company. I located the Japanese company and asked them that this microcontroller you produce, do you use it in your electronic voting machine in Japan? He said, are you mad? We have ballot papers. We don't use electronic voting machine. So the Japanese company which is selling us the microcontroller is not able to use it in its own country. They use it in Venezuela, Nigeria and India. Three musketeers of Indian world democracy. Now, therefore, the High Court said, the High Court didn't want to go too far because there was an election going on. There would have been so they said, we accept Dr. Swami's view that the electronic voting machine is tamperable. And therefore, the Election Commission should now enter into a full-fledged discussion with all stakeholders and come to a conclusion what should be done. The Election Commission has given an assurance that they will introduce voter receipts. If they don't do it in the next 3-4 months, then I'll go back to the court and say please supervise this. If tomorrow in the UP elections, if the Congress party gets more than 25 seats, then it is the microcontroller which has won.